Hey guys and gals, I'm going to go over one problem and then I just want you to do, so this is on the worksheet that I've attached. I don't want you to do the notes, I want you to start where it says practice and then I want you to do, I'm going to do one and then there's three more after that, so I want you to do those three. So let's actually work this problem. So I went ahead and was nice enough to kind of give you the points here. On the worksheet it doesn't, but I think these would be the easiest to work with. And so, and I'm going to do that for the other three problems as well. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take these. Now, actually, let me start. You could, if you wanted to, take this function and plug it into the calculator by hitting the table button. And then, it'll say y equals, and you just type in this. And then you can look at the table and just see which points are kind of nice points to graph. So you could do that if you want. So if you have a calculator, that would be very helpful. So anyway, so if I plugged in -5 here, so -5 plus 5 is 0, 3 to the 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. If I plug in -4, -4 plus 5 is 1, 3 to the first power is 3, plus 1 is 4. And then if I plug in -3, -3 plus 5 is 2, 3 to the second power is 9, plus 1 is 10. So again, you're just plugging those numbers in. And even before you do this, what you also want to make sure you do, and I guess I'm going to do this in kind of a pinkish color here, is the asymptote. Now remember, with the exponential, and this is the exponential because the x is in the exponent, you're going to do a horizontal asymptote at that number. So I go to 1 on the y-axis, and then I just draw a nice little horizontal asymptote. I'm going to try to do this as best I can. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to graph these points. So let's do a different color here. I think this will be easier to see here. So I'm going to graph -5, 2. So -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So that point there. -4, 4. Oh, I can't count. 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then -3, 1, 2, 3, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So the graph will look something like this. Remember, it's not supposed to pass this line, okay? So it'll look something like this. Now remember, we already know that with these types of graphs, when we graph this log, it's going to be a reflection over this line here. So this little dashed line here, it should reflect. So it should look something like this over here. Okay. So the first thing you have to do is graph this function. Because this function, oops, didn't mean to do that. This function tells you what this function is going to look like. So you first have to find the points of the exponential function. You also have to first graph the intercept. So before I even do the points here, what I'm going to do now, and I'll do this in a different color. Let's do, maybe I can change the color of this thing here. Yep, I just need to now change the size. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is the vertical asymptote for this one. So remember, this had a horizontal asymptote at 1, which we would say is y equals 1. Okay. This one will have a vertical asymptote at the same, so not y, sorry, but at x equals 1. So that's just you can ignore that. So whatever, and that's why it's important to do this one first, because it's easier to do this. So we know that this one was at y equals 1, and that's because of that 1 there. So now we're going to draw a vertical asymptote at 1. So we go to 1 on the x-axis, and then we just draw a nice little vertical asymptote here. Now, very important. That green line we graphed here, if it did cross this orange line, that would be fine. The green one is only not allowed to cross this pink one. And the same thing's true about the one we're about to graph. It can cross this pink one, it just can't cross the orange one. Okay, so the only one that this exponential can't cross is the horizontal one here, and the only one this graph can't cross is the vertical one here. So I want to make sure that kind of get that. All right, so, and we'll graph this also in green because I think that'll help. So to get the points, we just flip this. So instead of negative 5, 2, it's 2, negative 5. Instead of negative 4, 4, it's 4, negative 4. And switching the points actually what allows it to flip over like that. And then it's 10, negative 3. So if we graph these points, 2, negative 5, so 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 10, which I believe is here, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. And remember, it's supposed to get really close to this asymptote here. So it'd be something like this. All right, and you can tell that kind of flips over that line. It's very, very symmetrical. So the main thing is, guys, is graph the exponential first. And the two main things is the points and the asymptote. It'll have the same asymptote but vertical over here, and the points will switch. As long as you can do that, you can graph these. So tomorrow I'll actually do it to where I don't give you one of the functions and you have to find the inverse. So just kind of giving you a heads up. So what I want you to do is I want you to do this problem. Notice I've kind of given you the points that I think would be easiest here. So you may want to write those down. This problem, again, I've given you the points. And this problem, and again, I've given you the x values that I think would be most beneficial. Hopefully this helps. Please let me know if you have any questions, and work hard.